Welcome back to another K-Dog and Fish retro movie review. I'm Fish.
K-Dog.
And this time we're going back to 1985 to the cult classic, The Goonies. K-Dog, what do you have to say?
Hey, you guys.
Welcome to the very first ever retro movie review.
I watched it so many times. It's truly unhealthy.
So a lot of people consider The Goonies a cult classic. You would be surprised to know it didn't make any money when it was in theaters.
Yeah, that really surprised me, actually. Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who've never seen it. It's an absolute cult classic, so it definitely qualifies for a retro review. So if you've never seen it, hopefully you will check this out. At the end of this review, we will also give it our spicy meatball rating from 1 to 5.
Okay.
You ready?
Sure.
Let's do it.
I'm already trying to think of what my...
Well, let's review it first, and we'll get there.
Oh, it's tough. All right, let's go.
1985, The Goonies. The funny thing about this movie, yes, it didn't actually make money in theaters. It only did $63 million domestically and $64 million worldwide. If you compare that with other hits of that time, like whether it was Return of the Jedi or E.T. or Indiana Jones, those movies were making hundreds of millions of dollars. So
yeah,
63 million is not a hit, but it's such a cult classic and gained so much notoriety on VHS.
Yeah, that would have been hardcore VHS.
VHS.
And Betamax.
Yeah.
Maybe Laserdisc.
That it just became a part of our childhood in one of those cult classic films. So if you did see it back in the day, I hope you get it to rewatch it. And if you've never seen it, I hope you enjoy this review. So let's dive deep. K-Dog, who directed? Most people think it's a Spielberg film.
No.
That is not correct.
The story was Spielberg. I think Spielberg came up with the story.
Yeah.
But Richard Donner directed it.
Correct. So
Who
Spielberg...
we know from Lethal Weapon.
Yes.
He did all the Lethal Weapons and some Supermans, 1 and 2.
Yeah, I actually, Richard Donner, I totally remember he did the first one. I didn't know he did the second one.
He did the second one. And then the third and fourth one actually didn't even have a director.
None at all?
None. They just filmed it and they all
Richard Pryor showing up?
Yeah, they all just winged it, you know?
So Richard Donner was pretty famous in the 80s as a director, and even more so, like, even after that as well. Pretty famous director. I remember Richard Donner from the Lethal Weapon from movies. So that's cool. Spielberg did come up with the story and produce the film with his producing partner, Kathleen Kennedy. But it was actually written by, the screenplay was by Christopher Columbus, or Chris Columbus. Right. Who went on to direct insane hits like Home Alone, Mrs. Doubtfire, and the first 2 Harry Potter films. So that's sort of
my
where...
2 favorite Harry Potter movies.
Those are your favorites.
The first 2 are the
first 2 are your favorites.
The rest, the other 9 just go downhill. You should have ended it at 2.
So the one thing that I wanted to point out too is this movie is rated PG. As you hear us talk about and review the film, you'll realize that back in the 80s, things were rated PG that would not get rated PG right now.
No.
This would probably be a PG-13 in this day's standards. Yeah. But it was funny how things in the 80s were considered PG, and there's like some definitely dark or stuff or some language or whatever, and there was just like PG.
Yeah.
Like a Disney film.
It was the 80s.
Yeah.
Come on.
A little tougher.
Come on.
So we should talk about the story. First of all, the plot is that there is this small town. It is called the Goondocks, and they live in the Goondocks in this town, and it wants some land developers are buying up all the properties, and they're going to turn it into a country club.
Yeah,
and the Goondocks are going to be gone. So the group of kids that live there, they call themselves the Goonies. Everyone's getting their homes foreclosed on them, and they're in the attic. They're actually packing up the house. For foreclosure, and they come across an old map and a doubloon.
A doubloon.
And this is basically get the idea that there's going to be this hidden treasure that was never found by your favorite pirate of all time,
Oswald Copperpot.
One-Eyed Willie, and so Oswald
Oswald Copperpot or Oswald
You and I debate this every time that the penguin comes up.
Right.
Yeah. It's Copperpot.
Cobblepot.
Cobblepot is DC.
Yeah.
Copperpot, Chester Copperpot is Goonies.
Yeah, and they're related in a twisted DC story, but
Sure,
we'll get into that we'll talk about that on another show.
So they find the map, the doubloon, and they decide we're going to go find this treasure and save their homes.
Right.
All the kids. So they go on this adventure, and then they find that map will lead them to an abandoned restaurant.
The Fratelli's restaurant.
No, they're just using it as a hideout.
Oh, you're right. They are leaving that.
The Fratellis are the bad guys in this movie. They are played by Robert Davi, who's an amazing bad guy. Joey Pants. Which we'll get. B Money will pop up a picture here. You'll recognize Joey Pants. He was the captain in the Bad Boys movies. He was in Midnight Run. The Matrix, you're right. Yeah.
He's awesome.
Joey Pantaleone, and he's nicknamed in Hollywood Joey Pants. And then their mama, Mama Fratelli, who's played by
Anne Ramsey.
I never remember her name.
Yeah.
She was also notably the mama in Throw Mama from the Train.
Right.
The Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito dark film.
Yeah, that was pretty dark.
It's pretty dark.
We should touch on who plays the Goonies too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we just named the Fratellis.
So they run into the Fratellis at the restaurant. The Goonie kids, of course, Sean Astin.
Mikey.
The
leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Is his brother.
Brandon.
Yeah. Mouth is played by Corey Feldman.
Legend.
Yeah, probably the most famous of the cast at that time, wouldn't you think?
At that time, yeah. He was in Gremlins. And he was in, I think, everything. Corey Feldman was in so many cool movies in the 80s. It wasn't until he got hooked up with Corey Haim in the 90s that things started to go,
Yeah, they were a little bit of party boys. But, I think he's the biggest name.
He was pretty famous.
He's the biggest name probably at 85, right?
Yeah.
Data was played by Ki-Hu Kwan, I think.
That's pretty impressive.
I think that's how you pronounce it. He was also
that.
Short Round in Indiana Jones.
And I love Data because he was the inventor.
Yeah.
And he had all these gadgets on him. It was like Inspector Gadget, basically, with coats and things extending and the boxing glove and the teeth that hung on to the pipes.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, I don't think that would have saved him.
I don't think physics would have
I don't think that would have worked. But
I don't think that would have worked.
That's neither here nor there. So yeah.
We'll leave that
out
of there.
Yeah.
And then Chunk.
Chunk was Jeff Cohen. Cohen, who was pretty much, this is all he did. And then after this was
his big thing.
He did TV, and that was it.
And that was
Lots
it.
of TV. So,
and he was like the chubby kid with the Hawaiian shirt, the truffle shuffle. If you Google that.
Do the truffle shuffle. Come on, do it!
Stole the whole movie.
And then there was a couple of... So basically the guys, the group of boys went off to follow the map. Yeah. And they kind of distracted Brandon, played by Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
And distracted him. And then so he's trying to find them. And it was like... And there was two girls.
Right.
And that was Carrie Green.
Carrie Green, who was also in Summer Rental.
Plays Andy.
Yeah.
I love Summer Rental, by the way.
Yeah.
And Martha Plimpton, who plays Steph, her friend. Right. And Andy has a crush on Josh Brolin's character.
Right.
So they're trying to find the kids. The kids find the restaurant. The Fratellis are using it as a hideout.
Yeah.
And they need to get past the Fratellis to get down underneath the restaurant to the tunnels to try and find the treasure.
Yeah, to try to find the grotto. Because in the grotto is the pirate ship.
Yeah.
One Eye Willie's pirate ship.
Full of treasure.
It's going
to save the town.
So they have a bunch of shenanigans, when they go down into underneath the fireplace.
Yeah, booby traps.
And there's all kinds of booby traps.
Yeah.
And then Chunk Chunk's captured by the Fratellis.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Chunk is captured by the Fratellis, and they keep him upstairs in the freezer with a dead dude.
So that's where the PG rating comes in. So they actually murdered a man.
Yeah.
And they took over that restaurant.
Yeah.
And they put him in the ice cream freezer. By the way, it's an abandoned restaurant, and the ice cream freezer is working and on and full of ice cream.
Okay, well, good point.
Just
saying. All right, that's a good point. All right.
And then Chunk gets locked in the freezer.
Yeah.
And then the Fratellis have a very... this probably made the movie.
Yeah.
I don't even know where you'd come up with the idea that they have this super strong, weird-looking younger brother that they named Sloth.
Right.
And Chunk befriends Sloth, offering him his candy.
Yeah, they have him chained up in the basement.
Chained in the basement.
Are you sure this is not their restaurant?
I'm 1,000%.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that they're... Oh, maybe it is.
All right.
We got to Google that part.
We did a lot of research on this one, boys.
Our fact checker, Carl the Super Chicken, will pop up and tell us
neither here nor there.
Whether they actually own the restaurant or not.
They got Sloth.
I think it's their hideout, but I can't remember.
Okay, anyways, they have him chained in the basement. Maybe that's why they have all the ice cream. They're just feeding him the ice cream.
Gotcha.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who
Rocky
knows?
Road. Yeah.
Rocky Road. Yeah.
So anyway, they get Chunk and Sloth then... Chunk helps Sloth get out of his chains, and then basically everyone's chasing each other.
Yeah.
So Brandon and the two girls are trying to catch up with the Goonie kids.
Yeah.
The Fratellis are now know what's going on because they tortured Chunk into telling them what's up.
Yeah.
They want the treasure now.
Right.
Because they just robbed a bank.
Right, they did. Yeah.
Which is that funny car chase scene at the
very beginning. Yeah.
And then they're now after the treasure and the boys, and then Chunk and Sloth are now chasing after everybody.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know what? That's a pretty good synopsis.
I think so.
That's good.
Now, of course, spoilers. This movie was in 1985, so we're going to... Spoiler warning, if you do want to, based on everything we just told you, watch the movie, come back and watch the end of this video, because now we're going to spoil it. They do actually find the treasure. They solve all the clues, all the puzzles, all the booby traps. And Mikey actually notices the scale and says, don't take anything from the scale.
Right.
That's Willie's treasure.
Right.
And they didn't. They loaded their pockets and everything. And then the Fratellis catch up with them. And they take everything.
Yeah.
Including starting going off the scale. But that triggers another booby trap.
Right.
That actually collapses the tunnel and sets the ship off.
Yeah.
Into the sea.
Right.
And that's basically the end of the movie.
Yeah. Sloth and Chunk come save the day.
Yeah, he comes down the sail. The knife from watching the old pirate movies.
Right.
Yeah.
So they come, they save the day.
And he had a Superman shirt on.
They make the Fratellis walk the plank.
Yeah.
I remember that part. And then they show up on the beach and everybody's good.
Yeah.
So,
now, my favorite part at the end, too, is the fact that they got the treasure taken from them.
Yeah.
So, but the housekeeper, who Mouth was like talking Spanish, which is a funny scene, by the way, at the beginning.
Right. Yeah.
And finds out that there was actually Mikey's marble bag.
Yeah.
She found it.
Yeah.
And it was filled with gems.
Right.
So they actually did have that. And then the Mikey and Brandon's dad rips up the foreclosure.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're not leaving.
Yeah, we're staying.
Yeah. And it's like, well, you still have to convert those gems into cash, and then somehow you're probably still past the foreclosure date. But banking laws.
Banking was different in 85.
Pay it off with some rubies.
You can buy houses with gems. Everybody
in the 80s.
Everybody did it. I think our uncle did it. It's you just bring a gold bar.
Yeah, I'm buying this house.
Yeah, and they'll give you change. Right? They'll literally take the gold bar, they'll weigh it, and they'll give you currency back. They'll be like, here you go. You got 17 grand left over.
There you go.
Do you want a pool?
Yeah. So that was basically.
Yeah. And why was the foreclosure guy even on the beach?
Why was he there?
Why was he there?
Oh no, I think it was time. Foreclosure was up.
Yeah.
There was a deadline.
Yeah, but they're not at the house. They're on the beach.
They're on the beach. Yeah. They're all on the beach.
If you're foreclosing on the house, you're going to go to the house. You're not going to go to the beach.
Let's not dig too deep into that.
I'm just saying. I don't want to, come on. I'm just, all right, whatever. It's neither here nor there.
So the Goonies win the day. It is an absolute classic. As we said, there's so many big names involved with Spielberg, Richard Donner, Chris Columbus. It didn't make any money in the theaters, but
that shocked me because in my monkey brain, when I saw this movie in theaters, because I'm old, I thought it was huge. And then when we were talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, it totally is a retro review, and really became
a cult classic.
Yeah, big on home video.
Yep.
And AMC. Who shows it all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
I actually showed my wife this movie for the first time because I have it on DVD or Blu-ray. Actually, DVD, it's right there.
Yeah.
And she had never seen it and loved it. So it's something we really wanted to recommend as part of our retro review of classic movies you may have not seen or worth a rewatch since you haven't seen it in 20 or 30 years.
All right.
I do want to say a few things quickly about the cast. Of course, Data, I think, is one of my favorite characters. Chunk, Sloth, they all make the movie, but Sean Astin went on to become a massive movie star.
Right.
And the Lord of the Rings, Rudy, I cry every single time.
Yeah. Stranger Things.
He was on season 2 Stranger Things as Bob, and Jeff Brolin as well. Probably became the most famous besides Sean Astin.
Yeah, I think
from the cast.
Josh Brolin's doing well as well. Like he's he's got a pretty good filmography going.
I'm just gonna say Brolin.
You just keep calling him Jeff.
Jeff Brolin?
Yeah, it's Josh Brolin.
Oh, who's his dad though? His dad's famous.
Yeah. I don't know, it's another Brolin.
Yeah. Maybe it's Jeff.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Whatever.
Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Was in Deadpool.
Yeah, is Cable.
Yeah. But in tons and tons of movies.
He was Thanos.
He was Thanos as well. Yeah. Josh Brolin.
Yeah, that suit was hard for him to get into. He talks about that. But anyways, we won't go there.
Anyway.
Yeah. Didn't know he was that tall.
No, I think that was CGI.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's that tall.
Yeah.
But those are some of the people that went on to bigger things. Like we said, Jeff Cohen, who played Chunk, didn't really do much.
But he stole the whole movie.
He did. Yeah. Data was also short round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. You said Summer Rental for Carrie Green.
Yeah, she played John Candy's daughter.
She's
also in Lucas.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she was in
Lucas. Which is also Sean Astin.
No, it's Corey Haim.
Oh, it's Corey Haim.
Yeah.
I'm mixing all these kids up.
Yeah.
But Charlie Sheen's in that.
I think so.
Lucas.
Yeah, he plays the bully, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm in now. Now I know what you're talking about.
We're getting back.
Carrie Green. And one other thing, Martha Plimpton. She is the daughter of a very famous Hollywood family. Both of her parents are famous actors. You can Google all that. But I wanted to mention Martha Plimpton because she was on a sitcom that I absolutely loved called Raising Hope. In the early 2000s.
I don't remember that, but I'm going to watch some of it.
It's hilarious. And the guy, do you remember the actor's name? The guy who plays...
His name's Garrett something, but
he plays her husband.
Yeah, I recognize that guy. Yeah.
Absolutely. One of the funniest shows I'd ever seen. It was called Raising Hope, and Martha Plimpton plays the mom.
I'm going to check it out.
But anyway, that's some of the cast. Now we want to do our spicy meatball rating scale on our retro review of Goonies. K-Dog, going back to 1985, watching this again as an adult, what would you give the rating now in 2022?
I think I still got to give it a 4.
4 out of 5?
4 out of 5. Yeah, I think I have to.
Okay.
I just enjoy it. It's just a good movie.
So good.
I mean, we've discovered a couple plot holes. Maybe.
Like why would the foreclosure guys be on the beach?
Anyway, who cares? Probably more plot holes if we actually think about it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna I have 4 for sure. 4. Solid 4.
I think the physics behind some of Data's
gadgets,
although they're the coolest things ever.
Yeah.
Like honestly, the chattering teeth one, hanging onto the pipes, and it's like so funny and cool. But that's not going to support the weight of 2 people. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. But that's neither here nor there. Come on. It's a kid's movie.
It is fun. It is, even though it's rated PG in 1985, I put it at more of a PG-13. I'm not going to show my kids this movie just yet. I'm going to wait for them to be a little bit older. But when they do, it's going to blow their minds of what a fun adventure and all the solving all the puzzles and avoiding all the booby traps. And it's just a group of kids who are doing it for a good reason. It's just a feel-good movie. It's funny. It's got action. Like, it's just a great movie.
Yep.
I am also going to give it a 4 out of 5 spicy meatball rating.
You can't go any lower. You can't go any higher. It's the perfect number of meatballs.
I can't go any lower than a 4, but I also can't go any higher. So absolutely correct. A 4 out of 5 spicy meatball rating from these 2 meatballs.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another retro review. We can't wait to do more of these. Please, in the comments, suggestions. We've had a ton of suggestions that we've already taken down, but in the comments, please do that for us. Or follow us and DM us suggestions on social media. It's at K-Dog and Fish on everything. We have a fun live show every single Friday on Instagram Live called 4 o'clock Fridays. We also check out our website for everything Funko related, kdogandfish.com. You can see the Goonies pops there. And for this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The blooper reel is coming up next, the outtakes, so don't go anywhere. And we'll see you for our next YouTube show. We'll be launching this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, for another Thursday threesome show.
Boom.
Until next time, I'm Fish.
K-Dog.
We'll see you again soon.
Peace.
All right, we're good. We're good. Okay.
Okay.
Good?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever.
I'm going to start talking now. Okay. Both of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go. What are we doing?
Does this look okay? I can't see. It's good? It's not
What is it?
draped over weird?
Yeah. No. Does my hoodie and t-shirt look okay that I wear every day?
It's good?
Yeah, it looks
This
fine.
is fine?
Yeah, it
Okay.
looks fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
great. It's amazing. Go.
Check. 1, 2.
Check.
Goonies. Chunk. Mouth. Data. Welcome back to another K-Dog and Fish retro movie review. We have an absolute banger for you guys this time. It's the 1985 classic, The Goonies.
Hey, you guys. Okay. All right.
Welcome back to another K-Dog and Fish
I think my hand was up. When he
Okay.
started.
Okay.
I don't think you
Good?
want this. Ready? All
Yeah.
right.
I don't need you fisting. Yeah.
Yeah. That was arm wrestling last
Keep
night.
Did you win?
Yeah. Every second Monday, we got that underground wrestling, arm wrestling ring.
Nice.
I'm doing pretty good. No,
You do both. He trains left.
yeah. They make me go left-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, they don't let
His
me go
right
right.
is too strong.
It's a whole thing.
When you are getting into it, do you put your hat backwards and then you just wrap your your fingers over the guy's thumb over the top?
I have a
side
whole shtick that I get into when I
to pump up.
I do an entrance to the ring.
What's your entrance song?
I also mess with everybody. I just sit there with black sunglasses on and a cowboy hat, and I just have one of those things that
the hand grippy.
The hand grippy thing, and I just watch with a cigarette out of my mouth, just burning. But I'm not smoking it; it's just burning in my mouth, and I just watch everybody, and everybody's so
you get psyched out.
They're all just like, it's brutal.
You know what? Let's do one more, and I'm gonna go K-Dog. What do you? Jesus.
I think Pepsi was pretty much predominantly in it as well. A lot of product placement for Pepsi. If I remember correctly, I believe that's what happened.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it. There might be a connection there with Christopher Columbus and like he's got stock in Pepsi.
Yeah, maybe.
Because Fuller was going to wet the bed if he had too much Pepsi.
That's true,
They spilt Pepsi.
Spill Pepsi.
On the plane tickets that went in the garbage. That's why they didn't realize Kevin McAllister was missing in Home Alone. I smell a conspiracy theory between Chris Columbus and Pepsi. Do a really extended one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm going to make a couple
You really don't like that reel.
So do you know the Data? That's not his real voice, right? Like he actually talks.
You mentioned that. I was like, really?
So and of course he's coming out of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
So he was short round.
Right.
So then he's like excited that he's got another opportunity with something Spielberg's producing.
Right.
You got Goonies. I'm going to be one of the Goonies, right? I'm Data. And he's showing up first day.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I got gadgets. I'm going to be doing this. And they're like, can you do the short round voice?
Yeah. Oh, it's actually kind of funny.
I think it's slightly offensive.
It's extremely offensive.
I think it's very culturally inappropriate.
But it was the 80s.
I know. You can get away with that.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
You know?
But he was like, yeah, I'm going to do this in the boxing glove. And he was like, no, can you just say booby traps?
Yeah. Actually, you're right. It was really
Using
offensive
the short round voice?
His agent must have been like, you just got to do it.
Just do it, man.
Just do it.
It's Spielberg. Just do it.
You want to get paid? You know? Let's
do the
go.
voice.
Yeah. Do it.
I also think towards the end where they find the gems in Mikey's marble bag, and then they're like, okay, and we're gonna rip up the foreclosure notice, right?
Yeah.
You can't pay for houses with gems.
Yeah.
On foreclosure day,
Yeah.
you gotta exchange it for currency. You gotta talk to the bank. You gotta. Would you just flick an emerald at them and go, the house is saved?
Yeah, he got caught up in the moment. He's all excited. He found his son on a pirate ship. They got this weird guy who's got ears that go in different directions, dressed like a pirate with a hat on and a Superman shirt. It was just
also none of the parents were weirded out by that.
Yeah, nobody seemed concerned about sloth.
And he was going to live with Chunk.
Oh yeah,
if you all remember that, he was going to live with Chunk. Chunks, he says to his mom, he's going to live with us, and they're like crying and hugging.
And they're like, yeah, sure, of course. Again, caught up in the moment. 2 days later, Chunk's in your kitchen, eating ice cream, and you're like, what did we sign up for here?
Every morning he's eating 17 pancakes.
Yeah. That'd be a nice family photo right there.
Hey, you guys! And he's just eating you out of house and home.
I remember that ending. You're going to live with me now.
Yeah.